Yeah, so is like going overseas just like home for you guys at this point?
LAX is our home.
Yeah. I think we need a bedroom there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of travel this year. We were gone 6 or 7 weeks straight at one point, and then before and after that, we would be at a tournament overseas, come back for maybe a week or a few days, and then back and forth. So ever since like May, I feel like we've been gone the majority of the time.
Yeah. When you guys look at it, like what's kind of the mindset?
That 6-week stint we went on, I was excited because I'd never been to Portugal or Tokyo. So we got to go to those 2 new places. Stad is one of my favorite tours or events on tour.
Like that's like a unanimous.
Yeah. And Vienna's awesome. So I was pretty excited for the whole trip.
Yeah.
And Hamburg, world champs.
Yeah.
So.
And like good timing, I feel like for you guys to go on that trip because you like just come off a really good finish in Warsaw and then you won Seattle and then you're back going with like a lot of momentum too. I feel like that makes it a lot easier to get excited to go play another tournament no matter how far away it is.
For sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think that long, like that 6-week stretch, I feel like most of the places we went to were pretty cool. Like we had Hamburg and Stad and Vienna. Those are all awesome events. And the Tokyo one. So I feel like that stretch, it was long, but it was cool places to get to go to.
Yeah. I've been to China like 10 times now. I've never been to Beijing. I went to Shanghai, but I was an hour from the city.
Yeah.
So like I've never seen actual like the good parts of China.
Yeah, I know. I hear so many people talking like China is like such a cool place, and I feel like we haven't been to like Beijing or Shanghai. And
I've flown through and driven through Hong Kong, and it looked like the most rad place ever. And my brother-in-law has family there, so my sister went there and they visited. And my sister's like, "Oh, it's the greatest thing ever." Like, I need to go on a China trip with you guys.
Right.
Mine suck.
Yeah. Seriously.
Yeah. Because Tri won Qingzhou last year, so the event that we're all about to fly to.
Oh,
yeah.
Thanks, Travis.
That was your first event back.
Oh, yeah.
One of those.
Yeah, which one
there you go.
One of them. Yeah, but it was tough. That was like one of the harder events because you fly there. You always have to fly into like a big city, and then you go to the small city, and then in Qingzhou it was a 2-hour bus ride after that, and that's what gets you.
What tournament number is this for you guys? Do you like have a count?
We did count at one point. I think we had done how many? We did a certain amount in a row. Like I think it was like
that's right
10,
like back-to-back weekends.
Jeez,
with 10 in a row. I think that was our longest stretch, and then we had like a week off. But I don't know how many tournaments it was this year.
Yeah, I don't either.
I think I counted halfway through, but now I lost count.
Whatever.
It's not worth it.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of the schedule when it came out?
Man, I was looking at it mostly to plan my wedding. Figure out when to plan my wedding.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. So we wanted to do it before the season gets started. So, but yeah, after looking at the schedule, it looks like a lot of the same places except for the Singapore and Cancun. Couple Chinas in there.
One of the things that I always wonder with how like your travel schedule and like you talked about it a little bit is how difficult it is to actually like train and stay sharp when you're on the road that much. How do you guys like train and like get the reps that you need and like get in the gym? Because like you guys are like one of the fittest teams on tour, and like I've always been so curious like how people just like stay as sharp as they need to be when like going for the Olympics, because like it's pretty hard just to like get a practice court and like get all the reps that you need.
Yeah. Definitely. I think it definitely helps having a coach with you traveling, because then they can help organize teams to practice against, and they can organize the practice so you're not thinking about what we want to do and what we want to work on.
It's like the small stuff too, like even like having someone like pump the ball up and like get it ready and like sign you up for the court, and like the fact that you're not like throwing balls with spin so that it seems like you passed it. You actually have it coming off a platform.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like the really small stuff. They can like just make your life a little easier.
Help manage,
That's kind of part of it on top of the coaching and like obviously setting up film. going and getting video and maybe bringing it to you or whatever it is,
Yeah.
you know, it's huge.
Yeah.
For sure.
Definitely.
Yeah. We've also started this year working out with Mikhail, who you know well. And he sent us a lot of stuff while we were overseas, different workouts, doing the gym. He's been awesome for us. Such a great trainer, and it's just kind of different than anything I've ever done before. So I feel like having him as part of our team just has really helped us a lot, like on the road especially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, how do you even find like gyms in Qingzhou, China, for example?
Actually, the nice thing with Mikhail's workouts is, is like
Hotel
you
room.
don't really need equipment.
Need much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like whatever you need, you bring with you, bands and stuff.
Yeah.
And he writes them specifically, so it's like if you have to do it in your hotel room, it's not a problem. You can still get a full workout.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's been super helpful.
Get a little pocket trainer.
Yeah, exactly.
If you can read his handwriting.
Yeah.
It's a little sketchy.
How much of a difference has it made, though, being like in maybe a little bit better condition, or maybe not better condition, but just like a different kind of condition? Because I feel like it's really difficult to prepare for like just the damage that traveling does in your bodies and just competing for 10 straight weekends.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I feel like we stayed really healthy this whole year, and there's a lot of teams that kind of started breaking down a little bit, and we felt good throughout the year. I think a lot due to what we were doing in the gym, and just conditioning wise, like everything we do is very tailored to your position and to volleyball. So every movement that we do in the gym is like very related to volleyball and has a purpose for why we're doing it, which is really cool. So, I mean, his workouts are killer.
Definitely
you get
the
your
hardest
butt
ones
kicked.
I've ever done. Yeah.
You get your
for
butt
sure.
kicked and you don't lift a single weight. It's bizarre. But,
Yeah.
It's crazy.
but it's definitely helped us conditioning-wise in matches this year. I hardly ever felt winded or gassed, and
Same.
I think it's a lot due to how he's training us.
And your body just kind of what Tri said, like you don't ache and feel like your joints hurt after a session with him. Like you get off an airplane and you're like, I can't wait to go move around and do one of his workouts because it just makes you feel good after.
Just like freeze you up.
Yeah. Like everything's firing. You get everything to fire. You get everything moving, and it's just you don't wake up with back pain or
How much do you guys like keep track of the points a whole lot, or like the Olympic race or anything, or is there just like so much time left and events left that like you don't, it's just gonna work itself out anyway? So
Yeah, I feel like at one point I was, but now I'm just like, it's a lot to think about, and I kind of just try not to think about where everyone else is right now and just kind of focus on us. And like we can't control how everyone else does, but we can control how we do. So I think that's been my kind of mindset, and just knowing that we're going to have to go to pretty much every event and do our best in every event and see what happens.
Yeah. With like a lot of sports, like say swimming or running, or like even like the NBA or any kind of playoff system, like you kind of try to like peak at a certain time. Is there any sense of that with the way, just how long, and there's no like real like championship unless it's the Olympics. So like, do you like, there's really no like trying to peak in mid-season, is there? Or is it just like sustaining a decently high level?
I mean, I definitely think it's beneficial to sit down at the beginning of the season and say, here's the like, there's not many 5-stars. So it's like you want to peak at all those 5-star events.
Right.
Because I think it's very unrealistic to say you're going to be peaking at your highest level for 6 months straight.
Right.
Like that's impossible to do. So I think it is important to pick out certain tournaments that you're like, okay, like obviously you want to go and win every tournament, but like these are the ones where mentally, emotionally, physically, we want to be at our best so we can get a good finish.
Yeah. What did the conversations look like when you guys were sitting down and saying, all right, like we might want to do this? Like, how do you figure out like who is a person that you want to just be on the road with and basically live out of airports with for 2 years?
Yeah. I'd say for like to start, it's what are your goals? You know, like our mindset. I mean, I knew her work ethic was already incredible. You know, anytime I was in the gym, she was there, and I just knew that she was working hard. But then to sit down and be like, okay, our goals all align, that was huge for me.
And what the wedding looks like, which
That's
is great.
right.
I'm sure
That's right.
The best thing you've had to plan all season.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
A lot of planning going on for you.
Yeah, so that's been interesting. It's been fun. But it's kind of a short engagement just because we wanted to get it to have our wedding before the season started, and we were debating whether to have it before or after season, but then I was like, I don't want to be trying to plan when we're out of the country and do all that, so it might be nice to have it before. So then once the schedule came out, we kind of looked at the dates and figured that the beginning of March was going to be the best time for us. So
you got to put Bill to work.
I know. I'm trying.
Get those flowers, buddy.
Right.
Get the flowers arranged.
Pick the colors.
Yeah, colors and everything. Don't get it wrong.
Yeah. Don't mess this up.
That's awesome, though. Congrats. I'm sure that
Thank
was
you.
a super fun surprise in Chicago.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it was. I would have never guessed that he would propose right before a match or during a tournament. That kind of blew my mind. He's a very focused,
I was gonna say, I was like, that's like the most anti-Bill thing.
For
Just
sure.
Super surprised.
I think that's why it surprised me the most. I'm like, are you doing this right now? You're playing like in 20 minutes. But
it was right before his match?
Yeah, it was right before his match. No, on Stadium. Unfortunately, no.
Right at that moment, you're like, damn it, now you're bringing this money in for me.
I know, right?
Let's go.
Come on.
Yeah. Gold series.
Everything just switched.
Gotta pay for this wedding.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so we did it right before his match in Chicago against the McKibbins on Stadium. And actually, Mark called me out to center court. I was just standing like right, kind of, I think I was, right behind the like banners on center court. And Mark was like, Kelley, are you here? They need you to warm them up. And I was like, okay. I thought maybe Evie, their coach, was in the bathroom or something. So I go back to like serve him, and he's like, no, come over here. I'm like, why? He's like, let's just pepper. I'm like, oh my gosh, something's up. You would never have me pepper with you 10 minutes before your match. And then I knew what he was doing. Then he ended up proposing, but it was very exciting because we had both our families there. His whole family's from Milwaukee, or nearby Milwaukee, and so they were all there. I had a bunch of family there, so that was really special, but definitely surprising, and it's on Amazon Prime, so
really.
you can always go back and watch it.
Yeah,
that's good. Yeah.